I'd like to try getting Adventure Rank 16 without even getting to the part in the prologue where the Storm Terror attacks. Ideally, before even beginning that first act of the prologue and activating that first statue of the Seven, though it's beginning to seem more and more unfeasible. Doesn't hurt to try, though. Earlier this week, I reached Adventure Rank 16 and unlocked co-op on my account in the Asian server, only to realize that the person I wanted to co-op with was on another server. I haven't yet given up on my account on the Asian server. Cutting is so amazing. But I did start a new one, and I've noticed some interesting things. The hostile range and attack speed of mobs seems to be reduced very dramatically. I've been able to get up close and personal with some helitrails and just watch them chill. It almost humanizes them. But that's a discussion for another time. The range effect isn't just on hostile mobs either. I've been able to dash up to a few animals to hunt them, which is really nice since I don't have Amber's range anymore. But squirrels, you can just walk straight up to them and slice them. It doesn't even matter if you miss. They just don't react, other than somehow turning into pieces of squirrel steak. I can't hunt birds this way, though, which is sad. I mean, there's following a descending bird and cutting it down just as it lands, but that's not always effective, and I haven't been able to get it on recording. The lower range doesn't exempt you from scaring Timmy's birds away either, even if you're just walking on the edge of the bridge. I can stroll through Mondstadt and explore the library and the tavern and everything. Crafting and making weapons or buying weapons from Wagner is allowed, and so is getting the Adventure Rank rewards, but I can't use the With the Wind Comes Glory shop to exchange sigils, nor can I buy ingredients or processed foods from the center of Mondstadt. That said, I may still buy meat from Druff in Springvale, flowers and plants from Flora and Chloris, and artifacts from Shilu, the latter of which is probably the only important one, though it might be worth it to get wolf hooks, bellberry, small lampgrass, and Cecilias, though the latter three may all be easily obtained in open world. I think the area with wolf hooks is currently restricted if you don't finish the prologue. Buying weapons might also be useful. Back to enemy attack speed. Here you can see how easy it is to just sidestep a helitrail, and also to run towards it and push it around. It almost seems like its targeting has some sort of delay, and it probably does. Here's the same case with a pyro slime. It might appear as if it's hitting me, but I'm not even being burnt by the fire it causes. For comparison, here's what happens when it does hit me. I take 13 damage, and now I'm on fire, as shown by the icon at the bottom. It's all quite fascinating, really. I imagine that this wasn't all intentionally programmed as such, because game developers probably didn't expect a player to go off without finishing the prologue. So that means this must be the result of those values being correlated with adventure rank or maybe story progression in some way. Alternatively, if it is correlated with story progression, maybe the game developers intentionally programmed some sort of grace period from the tutorial slime and throughout the first half of the prologue Act 1, and this is just a way of exploiting it, as I have not yet begun the prologue. Earlier in the tutorial not recorded, I killed a tutorial slime and then promptly drowned in the ocean, and it caused Paimon to glitch and become utterly unresponsive, even if you tried to hit her with a sword. So it was fixed when I activated the teleport waypoint. I found that quite interesting, and I'm curious to see what would happen if I was somehow able to reach Adventure Rank 16, which is when co-op gets unlocked, before activating the first statue of the Seven, which is where Paimon's page and the friends page gets unlocked. It sounds like a lofty goal, and perhaps it is, but it's also not as intimidating as it appears, or at the very least, I have no evidence to say that it's outright impossible yet. There's great difficulty in that MiHoYo has made adventure experience very difficult to obtain, perhaps as a method of slowing down progression. For consideration, since I'm avoiding the Archon quest or prologue and haven't activated a statue of the Seven yet, my only real sources of adventure experience would be from unlocking chests and activating teleport waypoints, both of which are finite sources. Yet, it's not necessarily impossible, because the goal isn't to get to adventure rank 16 on chests and teleport waypoints alone. The goal is to get to adventure rank 8, at which point ley lines become available, providing me a way to convert original resin into adventure experience. Whether or not I'll be able to beat those ley lines with just an unleveled 2-star sword and no vision will be another story. I'll burn that bridge when I get there. Anyway, according to the wiki, that's 5,100 experience points. That's a lot. Most chests, common and exquisite, will only give out 10 or 20 XP, and teleport waypoints only give 50. I'll admit, it seems insane to me too. I was about to give up. But the current online estimate of chests in Mondstadt is around 510 chests. Each chest guarantees at least 10 XP. The required amount of XP to get to rank 8 is 5,100. But that's the thing. That's the most beautiful thing. I'm not going off of chests alone. I had some XP from completing the tutorial quest before the prologue, and I have a few hundred XP from teleport waypoints, and I know that not all chests are common chests. So that means the potential range of currently acquirable XP might surpass 5,100. Of course, the estimated range of of XP also includes a good amount of numbers below 5,100. After all, I don't have access to all of Mondstadt right now, so I could be missing out on many chests. There's also certain chests that I just can't acquire because they require flying or pyro or vision. So I can't conclusively say that it's possible to reach adventure rank 8 without starting the prologue. But I also can't conclusively say that it's impossible either. If I get desperate, I'll try activating the Statue of the Seven in Windrise and hope that that doesn't count towards the prologue quest, and then offer a Nemoculi, which would give me a boost of a few hundred XP, and that way I only really need to go a little over rank 7, maybe less if I find a lot of Nemoculi. I'm going to limit this endeavor to the weekend, though. Maybe 1 or 2 additional days if I get really close, since I still do want to co-op with a person that I know, and there's still a possibility that all of this is just completely unfeasible. I'd like to note that this isn't really a strategical thing. I can't see any benefits to playing this way other than maybe going and activating a teleport waypoint in the Stormbearer Mountains while all the mobs' hostile range is slightly lower, so it's easier to dodge them. It's much more efficient to play the Archon quest and to get lots of XP from that, and then start grabbing ley lines and daily commissions as soon as possible, as well as domains and anything else that opens up. Also, it sucks not being able to switch characters or use the statues to heal or use visions or fly or fall without taking damage and dying. Yet, I genuinely enjoy this kind of giddiness and curiosity. Sure, it gets boring to comb through the entire area repeatedly, and it's not really how the game's meant to be played, but that's why I'm limiting this to just a weekend. And also, what would happen if I unlocked a co-op or some other functions before I unlocked Paimon's page? Is it even possible? Just this burning curiosity and desire and everything. It's so exciting. I'll try to post an update in a few days. Until then, have fun!